So turning 25 was wild. Like, wow, I'm an adult now. But the craziest thing about my 25th birthday has to be 3 months later when I was struck by a car and fractured my tibia. And it was gnarly, my boy. A titanium rod and 4 screws, I couldn't even bathe myself. Scent was humming like a Kid Cudi concert. Not for really though. That shit spooked me, I'm not gonna lie. Could you imagine? Dead before I actually got the chance to live. I decided then 2024 was gonna be completely different. Okay, so this is gonna be a lot for me to try to explain because this year's just been a lot. But essentially there were 3 aspects of my life that required change. My profession, my health and well-being, and my surroundings. Now, I've always had a passion for creating videos. I remember back in high school, my best friend Steve and I would just grab our cameras and record literally whatever came to mind. Truly unforgettable memories that I will cherish and look back on for the rest of my life. But reality kicks in. You get older, you get a job, and suddenly you have less time for the things that you're truly passionate about. And I found myself working a 9 to 5 in an office with no windows, no coworkers my age, just 2 middle-aged women that I had absolutely nothing in common with. Safe to say, not my dream job. Now, I'm not gonna delve into this too deeply, but essentially, I got canned from that job. Thankfully, I've pretty much hated every job that I've ever had, and I decided rather than trying to make someone else's dream align with mine, Steven and I would take a chance on ourselves and get back into video production full time. And you're probably wondering like, all right, bro, but how'd you do it? And that is the exact same question that I was asking myself a year ago when I had no plan. Yo, I miss summer, bro. It's cold as hell out here. No, but I realized that I had a network, which was super valuable. Word of mouth is really how you get your next job in this industry. If I wanted to be offered videography jobs, I basically had to rebrand myself as a videographer. And I made sure to include that in every conversation that I had with anybody that was meeting for the first time or with people that I had known for a while. I would definitely let them know what the plans were. Most importantly, I was available and willing to do free work. And that led to the opportunity of a lifetime, a wedding in Peru, which was my real first gig. And because of the work that I did on that project, I was actually invited to come back the following summer to work on an even bigger project. I am sweating. My phone fell into the water, so now there's water in my boot when I went to go recover it. We are currently in the Tiracu Valley. We're about 45 minutes away from Tarapoto, Peru, which is about an hour and a half flight away from Lima, Peru. We've been working on this regenerative project for a week. Yeah, it's honestly been a really fantastic time so far. Not homesick just yet. Those 6 weeks that I spent in Peru were, in more ways than one, some of the most incredibly insightful weeks in recent years. I learned not only how to regenerate my own personal health, but how to also do the same for the earth where I come from, whether that be composting, eco-bricking, or using something like a natural loofah instead of plastic to cut down on waste. And because we were eating food that was locally sourced from the land itself, it forced me to take a closer look at the diet that I was consuming back at home. And I came to the realization that a lot of the things that I was consuming on a day-to-day basis could be considered poison. Not great. So honestly, I could spend hours talking about the time that I spent in Peru, and I do plan on doing that in a separate video. But for the sake of this video, we're gonna keep it pushing. Okay, so remember that broken leg? Well, I would go on to spend the entirety of that summer in bed recovering. And in an attempt to make myself feel better, I decided to take a trip down memory lane. During my junior and senior year, Casey was king. You literally couldn't browse YouTube without seeing one of his videos in the recommendations. And like millions of others, he inspired me to get on camera and just create. I vividly remember waiting in anticipation for his next vlog to drop and then my next free period to catch up with Steve in a chat about it. So here's the thing. Casey and I actually have something in common. And no, it's not the fact that we share the same birthday.
Winter 2007. I was on a scooter. The other guy ran a red light.
I'm a mess.
The doctor said I'd mostly recover, but they made it clear, never run again.
If you haven't seen Sisyphus and the Impossible Dream, I highly encourage that you head to Casey's channel after this video and give it a watch. But essentially, he goes on to explain that not only would he run again, but he would also run a marathon, 26.2 miles, in
Under 3 hours.
which is incredibly hard to do. I was inspired again. I'd go on to make a full recovery, and I made sure to take full advantage of that in 2024. Before the accident, runner was never a word anyone would use to describe me. But after hearing Casey's story, I realized I could change that. So 100 miles in 31 days, it's approximately 3.25 miles a day. I have never done anything like that ever in my life. In fact, the last recorded run that I had prior to this was 4 years ago. I had my work cut out for me. 100 Mile August, my friends and I have decided to run 100 miles in the month of August, and I'm currently sitting at
70.8 miles this month.
and I gotta be honest, I don't feel like running today. It just has to get done.
6.21 miles later.
I decided to suck it up and just go for the fucking run. Now, I'd be lying if I said it was easy, but the results speak for themselves. Consistency and determination took me from looking like this in the beginning of 2024 to this. Before 2024, there was no way in hell you could pay me to go run in 23-degree weather. And now I was doing this on my Saturday mornings with my friends for fun. That's wild. It became apparent as I'm making this video how much can and has changed once I became intentional and consistent. I was really able to get out of my bubble and visit 3 different countries this year. I was able to attend Camp Flog Gnaw for the 10-year anniversary in LA, which is a show that I've wanted to go to since I was 16 years old. Today is December 31st, New Year's Eve, end of the year, and it is the end of this video. But before I leave, I wanted to say this. If 2024 wasn't your year, then that's okay. Not every year can be. But I hope at the very least that this video inspired you to think of ways that you can change your life in the new year to make 2025 your year. If you like this video, then like it. Share it with anyone you think would love to see it. Comment in the section below to let me know what you want to see next. And I hope you guys have a great new year. I'll catch you in the next one.